Hi guys, so I'm going to read Captain Atom number 78. So it says 78 here. It's really small though, you can barely see it. So yeah, this is when they renamed whatever title Captain Atom was in into just Captain Atom. So I think it was like mystery. It was a space mystery comics or something like that. But all knew the most exciting hero of them all. You asked, begged, demanded, now you've got it. The new adventures of Captain Atom. Stop him, and the Earth is ours. They came from Planet Blue. So there's like this weird, I guess it's like some sort of price thing. Some weird marker. Anyway, Captain Atom, the Gremlins from Planet Blue, Part 1. NASA had planned a routine orbital spaceflight with fledgling astronaut Mike Crandall at the controls. But something had gone wrong, as so many things had gone wrong with our space programs recently. Captain Atom had just reached the unconscious astronaut in time. Who are these creatures? Their televiewer is focused on Captain Atom and the wrecked spaceship. Did they cause the damage? What is their interest in planet Earth's space program? There, that creature has intervened time and time after time to prevent our plans from succeeding. We must destroy him. In response to thousands of letters from anxious fans, Captain Atom, the greatest action character in comics, has been reunited with the most talented comic artist Steve Ditko and the brightest star of the glistening firmament of writing geniuses, Joe Gill, to bring you the following truer-than-life tale. Our inker is scientific electronic marvel whose occasional flubs can be attributed to power failure. Roque Mastro Zero, or Serio. Now comes the letterer who works for us when he's not engraving plates for the counterfeiters. Joe Di Agostino. None of these accidents just happened. Something or someone is sabotaging our space program. Professor Arnold Jupe and his brilliant and beautiful daughter Leia were at Cape Kennedy working for NASA. Professor Jupe being a civilian scientist responsible for the launching of an orbital Gemini space probe, one of the series in preparation for the manned moonshot. Captain Atom, USAF, has been assigned as liaison officer between NASA and other government agencies. Dad is worried, Captain. He is so afraid something will happen to this Gemini test. Every precaution has been taken, Miss Jupe. I know we've had fantastically bad luck lately, but Dad has been working much too hard. If anything goes wrong, it may affect his health. Since I'm here to assist your father in every way possible, then I'd better make doubly sure we don't have any malfunctions. Please excuse me a moment. Tell your father I'll rejoin him in a few moments. Countdown is resumed. 59 seconds, 58, 57. Professor Jupe's theory may be entirely correct. Too many of our space probes have failed recently. And in space, millions of miles away, a malfunction in the second stage immediately after the launch will destroy the capsule and discourage the scientists who planned this. Countdown complete and liftoff. Watching the massive projectile slowly leave the launch pad, Captain Atom alerts every faculty, ready to prevent any malfunction before it happens. The man who is Captain Atom, U.S. Air Force, and who was obliterated in a split second of blinding, disintegrating atomic heat. Captain Atom seemed to survive that blast, but he was not as he was before when he emerged from the atomic fireball. No, he was charged with unlimited nuclear power, and the power enabled him to hurtle through space at fantastic speeds, almost indestructible. With superior vision, hearing, and strength, he became the champion of good men and the enemy of evil everywhere. And now Captain Atom hurtles out from Earth, because he is suddenly aware that something inside the missile is wrong. Malfunction is an ignition second stage. We'll get premature blast off. It's going to detonate. The wire from the second timer to the arc igniter is grounded. Perhaps it's too late, even for me. If I can cancel the current in that wire for a few seconds, using his vast nuclear power, converting it into magnetic lines of force, Captain Atom beamed this at the second stage. Moving magnetic lines set up counter-electric currents in the defective wire, giving Captain Atom a few seconds to reach in through the metallic skin and repair the part. Whatever caused the malfunction, it's all right now. So there's an advertisement for some Charlton comics. So Sarge Steel, Vulcan, I never heard of that. The Fighting Five, Blue Beetle. I've read a few of those on the channel. So anyway, seconds later, where is Captain Atom? I've got to get inside with Professor Jupe before General Brill notices I wasn't around. And I told Captain Atom I was afraid sabotage would be attempted. I believe all of these malfunctions are caused by something or someone. Where is Captain Atom? I'll court-martial him if he... I'm here, General Bill. Escort Professor Jupe and his daughter to the special quarters NASA has provided in Area 4. Stay with them every moment. He's the most important man in our national space program. Yes, General, I'll look after them. Captain Atom has immense respect for Professor Jupe, the genius in physics, electronics, telemetry, etc. Leia Jupe impressed Captain Atom too. My father and I are sorry that you've got to accompany us everywhere we go, Captain Atom. I don't mind at all, Miss Jupe. I wanted to discuss this theory about the accelerating speed of light in space. My own theory is, do you also believe that light reflected from the lunar surface possesses special powers, Captain Atom? The lovely daughter of the most important scientist in the world discussed moonlight and associated subjects with Captain Atom later that evening. We aren't being very scientific, Leia. Who cares? When this crisis is over, perhaps we... Something is wrong, Captain Atom. There's an ominous presence in the house. What do you mean, Professor? For a long time, I have felt that someone or something has been wrecking our plans. My colleagues have ridiculed this theory, just as now. You'll scoff at my feeling that there is an enemy nearby. I'll be awake all night, and there are sentries outside. Nothing on Earth can reach you, Professor Jupe. You're absolutely safe, Dad. It's been a hard day, Dad. You'll feel much better after a good night's sleep. Sleep comes quickly to the overtired man, and the visitor from a world far away watched in utter silence for a time. While the scientist slept, his daughter shivered in the living room outside. Why am I so cold? There's a horrible chill in this house. I noticed it too, Leia. I'm going to have a look around. The source of the chilling cold was a weird blue beam of light, directed by the alien onto the sleeping form of Professor Jupe. Professor Jupe, you are being treated unfairly by your associates and by your government. Your theories, inventions, and work are misused by your government. Stupid military men and self-serving politicians take the credit for your creations. You should decide how your work is employed. You must leave this place. They are all bunglers anyhow. Let us provide you better facilities, and you alone will make the decisions about the space programs. No, I won't do it. You will obey, Professor. My head. There is cold inside my head. I must obey. Leia Jupe has heard a sound from her father's room. Dad, are you all right? Of course, my dear. Captain Atom. I was silly before. You get some rest. Everything is fine now. General Brill, I'm concerned about Professor Jupe. He is behaving oddly, and I know nothing definite, General, but get some sleep and stop imagining things. Intending to bid Leia and her father good night, Captain Atom found them gone. General Bill will have my scalp for this. Dad, you're behaving strangely. Why are we running away? Where are we going? I'll explain later, Leia. We've got to meet someone at Silver Beach. An inner voice has directed Professor Jupe to Silver Beach in a powerful cruiser. They went aboard and the boat immediately sped out into dark waters, destination unknown. Please, Dad, what is this all about? Captain Adam has transformed himself into Captain Atom the night before and searched the entire Florida peninsula without success. When dawn came, he still was trying to locate the missing nuclear genius. I'm tracking unidentified flying object, but he's flying 3 times my speed. I'll report to General Brill. I'll be blamed, of course. General Brill was in the launch area, where astronauts Major Don Bullard and Lieutenant Colonel Dave Morse were ready for blastoff. I'll search for Professor Jupe after this Gemini orbit, Captain Adam. You know both astronauts and you are to work in communications with them. Yes, General. If I could, I'd cancel this mission. Whoever or whatever is sabotaging the space program is endangering every astronaut we send out. Hours later at Blastoff, Captain Adam is talking to the crew. All systems A-OK. Roger, Don. Keep alert. When you see anything wrong, report it quick. Suddenly there was chaos. No readings here. Negative pressure in cabin. The hatch is open. It's happening again. Leaving his post, Captain Adam sprinted from the room, with General Brill shouting at him. Captain Adam, come back here! Screaming skyward at 20,000 miles per hour, the man called Captain Adam speedily overhauled the doomed space capsule. The space capsule is damaged, and the entry hatch is wide open. Both men must be dead inside. Empty. From that moment, watching Captain Adam from nearby in space, strange creatures make a decision. With them are 2 groggy men of Earth, Major Don Bullard and Lieutenant Colonel Dave Morse. We must get rid of that creature. He is the one who almost foiled us in the Jupe phase of our plans. Part 2, Planet Blue. The aliens of Planet Blue focused that weird ray across an ocean of space, and Captain Adam, impervious to any weapon known on Earth, became as rigid as death in that eerie beam. He must be lifeless. We had to employ full power, and no creature ever survived that dosage. Another of your species is being brought to this planet. You 2 will be permitted to live until it arrives, and then the 3 of you will be exterminated. You're a friendly fellow, aren't you? Captain Adam hurtled at the incredible speed towards that strange world. Soon. It's colder here than it is on a polar ice cap. I can provide a little heat anyhow. Increasing his radiation, Captain Adam saw his captors gasp in distress and try to get away. Exterminate this animal. He is a menace to us. Heat was the one weapon they could not combat. Captain Adam generated nuclear heat and hurled fireballs one after another at his enemies. They got spaceships. We'll take one of them and get away. Captain Adam led the others towards the spaceport. This is crazy. We couldn't fly one of those things. I wouldn't bet on it. Captain Adam took the controller's seat. None of the instruments or controls made sense, but I'll just keep trying buttons and switches until something happens. About the 5th button he hit started the huge reactors, and suddenly the alien ship was screaming low across their planet. Hang on, I'm going to try to steer this thing. Made it. Now if I only knew which way Earth lies. Turn right and change your pitch reading. I've got very weak signals on this gadget, which seems to function like a radio direction finder. All 3 had been trained as celestial navigators, and they knew they were almost home when the ship entered their own galaxy. Can you handle the controls now, Colonel Morse? I suppose I can, sir. But why? You've flown it this far, and... Suddenly, Lieutenant Colonel Morse was talking to empty space when Captain Adam had been a moment before. Sorry, gentlemen. I've got urgent business elsewhere. I've got to report to General Brill. I don't want Captain Adam to be court-martialed. A few moments later, Captain Adam, USAF, reported to his superior. Where have you been, Captain Adam? You're the man responsible for Professor Jupe's disappearance. I'll have you broken to a private and sent to the stockade, Captain. Find Jupe and his daughter, or else. I'll do my best, sir. Captain Adam went to Colonel Sandoval's office, where the Chief of the Air Force briefed him on what had been done. Jupe just vanished into thin air, Captain. Now you know as much as anyone. I'll find them, Colonel Sandoval. If I don't, I better get lost myself. There's one island off the Florida coast. They didn't search that because there's nothing on it. Moving at incredible speed, too fast for Leia Jupe to really see. But Captain Adam saw her, and he liked what he saw. Captain Adam materialized into his Air Force officer's identity and approached Leia Jupe. Leia, don't you realize you and your father are the objects of the greatest manhunt in history? My Captain, you only sought me because you had orders to search. You don't care about me personally. That isn't true, Leia. Look, I've got to talk to your father. Even such a man as Captain Adam could fall victim to a lovely smile, and he forgot for a moment the nature of the deadly aliens of the blue planet. I will take you to him, Captain. Captain Adam, no matter what happens, remember I had no choice. My father and I are their slaves now. Leia, The one blast was enough to turn Captain Adam into a stumbling hulk. Leia Jupe had to lead him. My father designed this, and they had provided him with materials and labor. It is amazing, isn't it? Father, you've got to make them release Captain Adam. They've done something to his brain. Nothing permanent, Leia. Only frozen the frontal lobes, suspended his ability to think until they neutralize the treatment. Through these beings, Leia, I will gain power, recognition, denied me in the past. Not only will I design the space vehicles, but what I will decide in what way they will be used. The fool, with his brain treated like the others, he is incapable of making any decision. Who is he? What are you building here? They are my advisors. They help me. They got me the materials and the laborers and all the skilled assistants that I had to have. They're the slave masters, Professor. You're their captives, just like all the others here, except maybe Leia. No, Daddy, no. What was the purpose of that? This man is our enemy. He showed a hostility which we could not tolerate. Dad, don't do what they want you to do. Refuse. Don't be their slave any longer. Slave, dear Leia, my dear. I am free for the first time in my life. This is the killer missile. When any nation launches a moon probe or explorer spaceship, we'll capture it in the cruise with this rocket. We're building other types in the caves cut into the coral rock below this landing site. Wake up. Please, you can't die now. I won't die, Leia, but I'm going to pretend I'm unconsciousness. Get them to take me below. Whatever you say, my dear. He may be dying. You brought the doctors to this horrible place. Have one of them look at Captain Adam. If he is not dead already, he soon will be. Go with the injured man to the laboratories in the caves. Caves hewn in solid coral rock below the secret missile site, with laboratories, machine shops, and all the facilities needed to create the missiles designed by Professor Jupe. I cooperated until now because I hoped to save my father from you, but I refuse to be a party of murder. You are as stupid as all the others, and we will treat you like them. It doesn't really matter. We are looting your planet. When we have everything we want, we intend to destroy all life on Earth. He's gone. What have you done with Adam? Satisfied now that he knew the plans and the purpose of the aliens from the blue planet, Captain Adam knew it was time for Captain Adam to take a hand. A rocket is being launched from the Urals, Professor. The controls are set and the target-seeking device is ready. We will launch the killer missile. I accept your suggestion, Director. Working swiftly to launch the killer missile, Professor Jupe blindly obeyed his masters from the blue planet. Bursting from the caves, Captain Adam saw how far things had gone. We were stupid to wait. This is the enemy we must destroy. Got to put this bunch out of business. Fire and steering heat would wipe them out quickly, but it would endanger the innocent helpers. Don't, Daddy. He's on our side. Captain Adam, don't hurt him. Actually, I could make sound effects, because there aren't any sound effects here. So, boot, or pow, or, I don't know, boom, I guess. Okay. Don't, Daddy, he's on our side. Captain Adam, don't hurt him. Don't fire that gun, Professor. Deep within your brain, certain cells have been frozen, and this induced unfavorable changes which can be neutralized with heat. Captain Adam, the aliens are escaping. They won't bother Earth again. Your diagnosis was correct, Captain Adam. They used the same treatment to bring the others here, too. They'll be sent back to where they came from, Professor. Which reminds me, I've got to run along. When Captain Adam reported to the General, Brill talked for an hour straight without repeating himself once or saying anything nice. Dismiss, Captain. Thank you, General. Okay. Yeah, that's the end of that comic. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you could like, comment, or subscribe, that would be appreciated. Thank you. And I'll see you guys later.